And I had a beautiful but yet enlightening, educated conversation that I'm going to take the time, according to her answers, and say that she's a modern woman. And I'm going to tell you why, but I'm going to give you a little background on it. I use the analogy that Lisa Ray does not have to be worried about an average man or a rich man right now at 56 years old investing in her, because that's not how men eye vintage items or classic items. You know, use it more or less like a metaphor about a car. Being that I owned and operated a custom wheel and tire business for during the height of it, brought it to this city, and still the godfather of it for 25 years. Also, 20 of those years I was actively involved in every dub show in Memphis. I was personally invited and was a VIP guest every year consistently. And so I knew the lifestyle. And I knew what type of women, middle-aged, younger men, and older men were bringing to those shows, who were putting cars in those shows. And I hate to burst this modern, and this is a beautiful modern woman, might I add. If that's actually her on that picture, scrumptious. Now, mind you, OG ain't got nothing against an older woman. My only point about an older modern woman is it's hard to accept y'all alpha male tendencies. Ain't nothing we can do with those at our age. That's why we can't roll with y'all. You can't be told nothing. I can't even tell a woman that I've been in this industry for a long time, all races, Hispanics and Latinos, white, blacks. When it comes to cars, back in those days, all the 90s and the early 2000s, those were dominated by men. The only women involved in the cars were the models at the dub shows and different things. A lot of the other OGs and older black guys remember the dub circuit and different things. And I was personally invited every year because I sold just that many custom wheels that I was well known in the industry. And there were no older women with older men. If they were, they were of a matching age, and they grew old together. See, we'll grow old with you, but I'm just letting y'all know we're not trying to get y'all old. So all that talk that Lisa Ray and any other modern older woman is trying to put y'all off on, no, we're not accepting it. Also, we've lived with them. Also, she lived with herself. So more than likely, this modern woman. See, she lives with herself. So yes, she gonna say she living great and she ain't got no problem living with herself. But see, when it comes to living with an older woman, she ain't got no experience in that. But I do. And I can be honest and say y'all dress up well. Yes, y'all do. I love me, especially if it's a voluptuous, curvy, salt and pepper type, naturally built older woman. Oh, yes, indeed. OG loves that. Ain't got no problem with her. Because I already know everything's still on 10 when it comes to an older woman. That ain't the problem. The problem is the rarity of the fire and the maintenance that has to go along, the physical maintenance that you had to give an older woman, the part that, see, y'all don't let nobody else know about. You know, all these different medications for y'all cholesterol. Now, we going through it too. But see, I'm talking about that older black woman at 5 and 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning before she get up and get ready for work. Do y'all really believe Lisa Ray without the filters in a professional photography actually looks as good as she does on these pictures and videos. Come on, y'all. But now, do I know what a 57-year-old woman looks like in the morning? Oh, yes, indeed. So maybe she'll run across this video as well and want to address it. I don't know. I ain't going to call her out because I want to be able to communicate. I love chatting with beautiful women. And so I ain't gonna put it. This ain't even meant to put on blast. If she wrong, she's just wrong. She can be beautiful and wrong, and she dead ass wrong on this one. Us and our love for classic cars, muscle cars, vintage cars, older cars, whatever, or however she wants to try and flip it, ain't got nothing to do with an older woman. She doesn't even come up in the conversation. She doesn't even come up with the shows. I ain't gonna lie. I've been to thousands of them. And there's not gonna be 2 or 3 or 4 older black women at a car show. All of them the same age, 40s and 50s. That's not their cup of tea. So I don't even know how you felt like you had the experience to even challenge me on that and use that, that there's a better explanation on why men would prefer an older woman based on the car, because the car has nothing to do with that. Like I said in the comments, older modern women are too difficult to deal with because you can't tell them nothing, and they already think they know everything. Then they had to raise their children on their own. That makes them think they smarter than the average man. And they've had maybe 3 or 4 men in their whole life, but they think they know every man. Because they chose 3 or 4 dum-dums, now that gives them a master's degree in men. And it doesn't. It really doesn't. All it tells a man like me is that you had 4, what you considered at one time, 4 consecutive solid relationships, and you failed in all 4 of them. And more likely than unlikely, you don't have a man now. You got somebody that's clapping the cheeks that you call a friend, but it's only because he's not going to take you serious past getting the free clapping of the cheeks, because nobody's willing to financially support an older modern woman. I ain't saying that to be negative. And mind you now, I'm not talking about traditional, honest, hard-working, trustworthy women. I'm talking about modern women that think they're more men and more knowledgeable than the average man. Now, so let's not get that confused, because I know all women are not the same, and that's why I always set the record straight when guys really start bashing about they should just totally discount a woman with children. No, you can't say that, because circumstances and life can cause a woman to have a couple of children and be out on her own and don't been doing nothing wrong. We can't discount her. Now, I feel like we got a right to discount and seriously consider discounting a woman that has 3 or 4 children with 3 or 4 different baby daddies and still thinks she's God gift to a man. I don't think we should have any time to waste on her. And the only asset she got is on her backside and on her chest. That's it. You're not going to be working in customer service talking about you want a man making no $300,000 a year. Working in customer service with 3 or 4 kids with 3 or 4 baby daddies. You ain't even making $40K a year talking about a man got to make $100K. You can't make this up, y'all. You cannot make this up.